for Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. It was also a welcome back for the one and only Kristaps Porzingis here in his first action in the last 10 games because of right knee soreness, but it wasn't all good news for the Mavs. Dwight Powell, the 28-year-old critical role player for the team, part of the Mavs culture. He crashes to the ground without any contact. He would not return to the game with a right Achilles injury. Coach Rick Carlisle saying an MRI test today will determine the extent of the injury, saying he fears it to be severe. As for the Clippers, Kawhi dominating, meticulously picking apart Dallas here. Getting that three then. Leonard beats his man down the floor. And look at this beauty. Over Luka Doncic plus a foul. The refs actually call the foul on Luka, but Kawhi actually hits Luka in the face. The Clippers take a 60-49 lead into the half. So under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Clippers were up by 5. Kawhi. Jab steps, Max Kleber then hits the three. Come on, his 6th straight game with at least 30 points. He was showing some emotion because he was saying that when you play against Luka Doncic and the Mavericks, it is actually fun. 1:15 to go, Dallas down 8. Luka, hey!
Let's go.
So we have a 5-point game. So under 30 seconds left, Finney Smith drives baseline and Kleber, dunk. So back to a 1-possession game, 24 seconds left. Landry Shamit's pass, intercepted. Mavericks coming the other way. Doncic, open.
Get it,
yes.
No.
So Tim Hardaway Jr. for the three, but he misses. Mavs have to foul. And you may be thinking, why didn't Luka take it? Well, Luka, 32.9% three-point shooter. Hardaway Jr., 39.1 three-point shooter. So Leonard would finish with 36 points. Tim Legler, your thoughts on Luka not taking that shot?
I'm surprised that Luka Doncic turned that one down with about 10, 12, 15 feet of space on that catch. I know he wasn't feeling it from the three-point line, and he's a 32.3-point shooter, but this is a guy that feels like he's going to trust himself more than anybody else in that situation. So I am surprised he didn't take that shot, and as a result, Mavericks don't get a look at the end. Clippers get a stop, and they get a great win on the road.
So Tim Hardaway Jr. misses on the wide-open three. That could have tied the game against the Clippers. Dallas is now 0 for 16 on potential game-tying or go-ahead shots in the final 30 seconds this season. The only team without a make. Doncic, who passed up the potential shot in favor of Hardaway Jr., is 0 for 6 on those shots this season. The most misses without a make by any player. But let's hear from Luka on that play.
Rick said in that play where he swung the ball to Hardaway, despite he obviously having a good look, he felt like that was the right decision. Your thoughts on that play?
100% right decision.
It's a team coming together. We've won 8 out of 10 games. Like Lou said in the interview after the game, this team, you can just feel us. We're not there yet, but you can feel us all getting comfortable in our skin and what we should do. And it's fun to watch them come together.
Back to Kawhi because he accounted for 12 of the Clippers' 18 points in clutch time against the Mavs, scoring 9 and assisting on 3 to continue his streak of 30-point games to 6, which ties a career long. And the Claw got it done with his bread and butter. All 3 of Kawhi's clutch time field goals were contested pull-up jumpers. Elle?
Thanks, Tony. So, you have like a favorite TV show, right? One that you binge watch, you maybe message board about it, anonymously, of course. But you love it because this show gives it all to you. The thrills, the chills, great performances, and an incredible plot line. And after only 1 season, you are hooked. So what do, right? You look up your phone and you Google, when is season 2 coming out? And it's like, oh God, another year? Yikes, that's kind of how this whole Zion Williamson thing has turned out, right? But alas, the wait is over. And the season premiere could not come any sooner, at least for the guy who spent months on the mend.
I think the rehab workouts, they're long and strenuous. It was a lot of times when I just wanted to punch a wall or kick chairs because it's frustrating to not be able to move your body the way you want to, not to make any athletic movements, especially since I'm 19 and haven't even played my first NBA game. So it was tough, but I battled through it. If y'all saw me meditating on the sidelines during games, it's been very difficult, but it's finally here. I finally get to go back out there.
So let's go by the numbers on Zion's preseason because it was nasty. First is 23.3. He averaged 23.3 points a game this preseason. That was the most by a rookie in the last 20 years. Your next number, 71.4. That is Zion leading all players in field goal percentage this preseason with a minimum of 40 attempts, the most by any player in the preseason since Nikola Jokic in 2015 and 16. The next number is 1, as in first. Zion became the first player in the last 20 preseasons to average at least 20 points per game on 70% shooting. And I've got one more number for you. It's minus 250. Those were Zion's odds to win Rookie of the Year prior to the announcement of his knee injury just days before the start of the regular season. You may be thinking to yourself, Zion's joining a team that isn't going anywhere. Not so fast, because the Pelicans actually have been playing pretty well. They own the Western Conference 12th best record, but BPI gives them the 10th best odds of making the playoffs. That might have something to do with the fact, of course, that the Pelicans have the easiest remaining schedule in the West. All right, so let's check in with Andrew Lopez, our Pelicans reporter, on Zion. Z-Day, is that what you call it?
Z-Day.
Z-Day.
Zion Williamson's regular season NBA debut is just hours away, and when we talked to him on Tuesday, you got the sense that he was ready for tip-off to get here. Now, his pregame routine is going to change a little bit. He had been getting to the arena 3 to 4 hours early to do 3-on-3 and 4-on-4 with teammates and staffers. Now, he'll just do his pregame warm-ups, which he usually does about 80 minutes before the game. His teammates, they're excited. On Monday, they were talking about what plays they wanted to run for Zion. Drew Holiday, who played in some of those 3-on-3 games, said he just wants Zion to bring his explosiveness and energy. He doesn't want Zion to feel like he has to save this team. Now, Drew, his teammates, and the city of New Orleans can't wait for Zion's debut.
Team time. What about the Lakers? David, are you there? I'll take it from here then. All right. Earlier in the day, LeBron James in Springfield, Mass, watching his son play, Bronny. Then back in Boston. Chalk toss, ready to go. What about this guy, Kemba Walker? He's 0-28 against LeBron. Could he get his deal done? Yeah, perhaps. You guys already know that. Jaylen Brown gets the steal after, but can't finish. LeBron tips it up, and Kemba tips it in. Right here, that's just good old-fashioned hustle. Take a look at that. Hey. Like, Kemba had something to prove. He's tired of the 0-28 storyline. I understand that, Kemba. Second quarter, Celtics lead by 6. LeBron is guarding Marcus Smart. Smart drives, passes behind his back to Canner. Layup. Again, Smart with a nice pass. They were really feeling themselves, trying to, I guess, maybe revive a rivalry of yesteryear. Celtics lead 42-34, so we're heading to the third. Brown drives and dunks over LeBron. This apparently is a big deal. People care a lot about it. Meanwhile, Celtics going to win 139-107.
Just being aggressive and just made a play at the rim. I ain't gonna lie though, it was pretty nice. It was pretty awesome.
Do you have it on a bucket list for today?
I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
He felt good about it, guys. So, again, 139-107. After the game, Kemba, LeBron, how do you feel?
He's beating a lot of people. I bet you there's not a lot of guys that have a winning record against LeBron James. But, I mean, of course, you know, I'm happy I got one at least. But, yeah, I mean, you know, it's only one. 1-28, you know, that's it. I'm on a new team, so I'm 1-0.
It was just a good old-fashioned butt whooping, that's all. That's all. They beat us on all facets of the game, from the outside, the interior, points off turnovers, and offensive rebounds was the main ingredients to this L.
Yeah, just a good old-fashioned butt-whooping, LeBron. This was the Lakers' worst loss of the year by any measure. Their 139 points allowed were the most they've allowed in any game this season. Their field goal percentage defense, three-point defense were also season lows. And it could have been worse if the Celtics didn't miss 10 free throws, tied for their second most this season. Meanwhile, LeBron has had a very busy day. Perhaps other things were on his mind. Here's our Dave McMenamin.
LeBron James and the Lakers lost to the Celtics on Monday, and Bronny James and Sierra Canyon lost earlier in the day in Springfield, Massachusetts. LeBron said the James family took 2 L's, but Dad still came away proud of his son for the way he handled himself when a young fan threw something at him during his game.
I didn't even know what happened until the video evidence showed me today when I got here. I mean, it's just disrespectful. I mean, and it was a little kid, too. I don't know how old that little kid was. It's better than his mom and dad for some of the things that he kind of lets off his shoulder. Well, I guess he's taking up for me too, because I let a lot go too. But he's a great kid, and most importantly, he just loves being around his teammates, being a great kid, you know, being a model citizen in the community and playing the game that he loves to play. And being a big brother to his brother and sister. But that earlier made me mad when I saw that. It was just disrespectful.
LeBron admitted that the extra travel on a game day did cause him some concern, but added he would, quote, break every routine in my life for my family. It was a bit of perspective about what matters for a guy who still finds a way to come out on the right side of the final score more often than not.
All right, thank you, Dave, for that. Meanwhile, the Lakers' next 3 games are on the road, which includes a matchup with the Sixers Saturday at 8:30 Eastern on our sister station, ABC. That matchup against Philly is the only game out of their next 5 in which our basketball power index doesn't favor the Lakers. David Lloyd, you have more.
Yes, Carrie Champion. The Rockets, they had lost 3 straight. Jim